What's up, fellow collectors? Right now, I think is a great time to take a little snapshot of the 2023 Victor Wembanyama rookie card market right before he enters his third year playoff run, which will be his first time ever being in the playoffs. He just named himself the deserving MVP candidate yesterday after his game against the Miami Heat. We're going to see what happens. There's a lot to talk about with him, but he is definitely the most hyped NBA player right now. And I figured before he does his first playoff run, it might be a fun time to sort of take a snapshot of his rookie card market. And then I want to talk about some of the cards that I personally like from the collector standpoint, not from the hype, not from the money standpoint, just in terms of what I personally would want to own as a Victor Wembanyama collector. And I'll tell you which ones I have and which ones I don't. And so we're just going to look at the sold items for a second, and we can see these are sold today. So, I mean, you can still get Victor Wembanyama rookie cards for pretty low dollar amount because there are so many of them. I mean, so many. There's so many different types. There's so many licensed too. Panini has the license for the 2023-24 NBA season. There are no autos that are licensed, but there are plenty of cards that are interesting and hyped. And you can see this one, $37, the Prism base. The silver's gone crazy. We'll talk about that in a little bit. This particular rookie auto, unlicensed, still sold for over $4,000. Actually, you got to click on them nowadays in order to see if the number's crossed out when you click on it. That means it actually went for less, and you can go to a site like 130 Point for that. The PSA 10 Prism base, $200 right here. And also you want to look at this number too, this delivery amount, plus there's taxes on top of that. So when you're thinking about how much the cards, how much it would cost you to buy, you want to factor all that in. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take a little look at some of the top ones that I personally would want in my collection. This is a personal preference from a collecting perspective, and I'm not going after the one-on-one types right now. I'm not going to talk about that stuff. I'm going to talk about the cards that are more attainable, although this first one is anything but attainable. Let's see. So here we've got this card right here is sort of, in my opinion, it's one of the grails. This one just sold for $4,000 basically. And, this went in a PSA 10 with an auto of 10. Sometimes you see the auto grade, sometimes you don't. These are on-card autos, and they are certified by Tops. And, one thing that's really interesting nowadays is there's so many sticker autos on all types of cards. And for me, I don't care for sticker autos. I genuinely will just sell them if I get them. I'm not interested in having sticker autos. It just feels so much better to me to get an on-card auto for a player where they actually had the card in their presence. And that's part of the way that it resonates with me, is if I feel like the player actually had the card in hand. So I do not own one of these. And for me also, while I really like this particular card a lot, and I would happily own one if I could, it's out of my price range. The real one that I would want would be any of the parallels. Let's just scroll down for a second and see if there's any parallels that have sold recently. You can see one of these in February sold for 1,500 as a PSA 9. I mean, for me, that's the type of card that I would have tried to go after. 1,500 is a little more than I want to be spending on these things, but each person's a little bit different. All right, I don't see the one that I'm looking for, and I'll tell you why I'm looking for a different version of this in a moment. Let's just keep scrolling. Now, if you notice here, this is the same set. This is not one of the ones that I would go after. And when you zoom in, you can see this is on a sticker. It's still cool to have a Wemby auto, in my opinion, but I just don't care for the sticker. I'm not going to buy something as a collector unless it's something I actually want. I'm not doing this to resell it. I'm doing it to get the ones that I actually like. And so you can see like all of these other variants, they're all stickers, and you sort of have to zoom in to see, but you can see right here, this is a sticker auto. Still an awesome card, but these ones are on card directly. And let me see if I can find one of the parallels, and I'll tell you why I personally would choose a parallel. We're just looking for one of the cards that I personally would want the most. Wow, they're not even for sale. Like, you can't even find this. 2022 Victor Wembanyama. See if I can find it out in the world. Here we go. So this right here, you can see this is numbered to 99. Why do I prefer this card? Because I buy cards to display them in my home. You can see behind me, there's cards that are on display. Nowadays, if I'm not going to display the cards that I'm getting, I actually don't want to buy it anymore. And these ones have a reflective foil shine to them that, in my opinion, is significantly more desirable to look at than just a plain silver reflective base. And so for me nowadays, anytime I can get a card that has that reflective shine to it, it just feels more satisfying to look at. So that's my personal opinion on this. And this card, and you can see these parallels, these are on card autos. Like we can zoom in and you can see that is literally right on the card. And I mean, again, for me, the sticker autos are cool. He did still sign the sticker. It is still in the presence of the signature, but there's nothing for me quite like an on-card auto, especially a rookie auto. And he doesn't have any San Antonio Spurs rookie autos. He signed with Fanatics. He did not sign with Panini. And so this has become the go-to Victor Wembanyama rookie auto card. And there's that very first one that he did too. That's serial number 1/99 of this exact parallel, the green, where it was his first card that he ever signed. So like obviously that would be incredible to own, but any of these would be amazing. And these things just keep going up. A month ago, these were below 3,000 for the PSA 10s. Now you can see it's hitting 4,000. And dollar amount aside, these are a really satisfying card to own. So let's go back to ended recently. And let's talk about the next one. So the next one, this is unique to me. And this is a snapshot of where we are right now. I'm going to type in 2023 Victor Wembanyama jersey match. Because for me, with all of these serial number cards out there, the serial number cards that I want are the ones that are a jersey match serial number one. Okay. And it doesn't matter to me if it's up to 299 or up to 25 like this one. I mean, when you get down to serial number 10 and below, generally speaking, the jersey match matters a little bit less because all of the cards are really exclusive and pretty awesome to own. But you can see here that these jersey match cards, I mean, the gold sold for 950, but these jersey match cards are, um, they sell pretty good, right? Like right here, you've got a 1/175. And what I mean when I say they sell pretty good is there is a premium on them. They're a little bit more popular. And here's the thing, for me, owning a jersey match card, which I own four of them, it just feels like the one that matters from the set as opposed to it being any old serial number parallel. And so I like getting the jersey match one. Like for me, when I'm buying cards, it's a question of whether or not the card resonates. And you can see there weren't a ton of them when I searched for that. So like right here, let's click on this and just confirm that this is actually a jersey match. So Spectra, Victor Wembanyama, look, they got all the pictures of the corners and everything. And then you click here and you can see this is serial number 1/75. So to me, that's the only one of this particular parallel that matters. And by my rough calculation, there's over 3,000 Victor Wembanyama rookie jersey match cards that are out there. And I sort of have a tier ranking of them in my head, but any of them feel satisfying to me. And so the ranking system that I sort of use in my head is number one, and these are for rookie cards in my opinion. Number one, is it a core parallel? So like a Prism serial number one for his 2023 Prism card, which anytime you look, you can't find that, right? A Prism serial number one would be the top of the top for me. Not immaculate, not any of that stuff. I prefer the serial number one cards for the more common things that we all go, and there's hobby versions and retail versions and like all that stuff. And there's actually less than you might think. Like this is an interesting one right here. This is an optic one. And this is the premium box set parallel, which is a little bit confusing. But you can see here that it's serial number 1/249. And I promise you, so many people do not care about this. And I don't care about them not caring about this. I like the feeling of owning the serial number one, which is first on print in Wemby's case and jersey match as well. And the reason that I like this is it just, like I said, it feels like the one that's important, the one that matters. And for me personally, it's the one that I would want to own out of all these. And so, when you look at any of these, I like this. This is like an optic iconic rookie base card serial number one. This one didn't come in a pack. This one I happen to know. I've watched a video of people opening these. There's like I think there were exactly 249 sets. I think it's why it's out at 249, and you don't know which serial numbers you're getting for each card, but you get the entire set when you buy it. So this is sort of a unique case and a unique card. Still think it's a desirable one to own. The grade 8.5 is sort of like a curveball there. I don't know if I'd almost rather have an 8 because it's just like cleaner, but this is still, in my opinion, the type of card I would like to own, but I don't want to spend 2,000 on that. And let's see, I mean, some of these they're listed for a lot, right? And it says Holy Grail. There's a few different ways to search for this too. I search for jersey match. You can also search for jersey number, and then it'll show some of them are the same and some of them will be different. So you can see here. Let's see what comes up. I'm trying to see what would be interesting. I feel like the insert jersey matches are still good, but not as good. The higher the serial number for me, the more I actually want the card because the higher the serial number, the lower the price will be that I can get the card that I want, which is the jersey match. Like if it's out of 10 or it's out of 299, I'm looking just to have the jersey match. So for me, I'd rather get the one that's going to be out of 299 because it'll be way less money. Maybe I should arrange this by price. Let's do it this way. Lowest price first. So you can see they sort of start at 375. Now this is an interesting one. It's a Beckett 8.5, and here we'll go like this for a second. Beckett 8.5. You can see here serial number 1 out of 199. So like if I'm looking at buying one of these, this is sort of a reasonable price at 375. I'm probably not going to get this because I don't have any personal attachment to these serial number Recon brand. Like the way that I look at it is I like my serial number cards to be dramatically different. So we were looking at the what was it? We were looking at this one a moment ago. The base for this looks dramatically different than the parallel. And for me, that's something that I care about. I don't want it to be unclear. I don't, honestly, if I open packs, I don't want to have to figure out if any of the cards that I have serial numbers on them. I hate that. I hate searching the cards front and back. I mean, Topps is notorious for setting that up where they make it so that the base card looks almost identical sometimes to even the one of ones. I hate that. Here, at least this one has a red border, and so it's a little bit better, but it's a little hard to see the serial number on this. And so, I would get a card like this under certain circumstances, but for 375, I would probably pass on it. Let's see what's sold recently, and we'll go ended recently. So, I mean, these are good examples of ones that I personally don't care about. These are cool looking cards. It's immaculate. I like that. This isn't even a jersey match. It says jersey number patch. Maybe that means oh, it says jersey number here. So it's a accidentally misleading thing. Let's find a different one. I'm just trying to look at this stuff. No, it's the same thing. It's not even it. So well, I just want to look at this real quick. Just looking at his rookie cards. This right here drives me crazy. The enclosed officially licensed material is not associated with any specific player, game, or event. I'll even take it if it's not associated with any game or event, but when it says any specific player, I mean, we've all seen those videos of people that pull patches out where it says that and it's not even from the same player. That's just as a collector, I don't care about that. I'm not interested in that at all. Let's see, this one went for 300. I want to say that you can get them even cheaper than that. All right, so we've looked at two different ways to search for this. We've looked at jersey match and then jersey number. A third way that you can search for this is just by typing in JSY. And then here you can see some people do JSY and then a number sign. I left the number sign out because I think this is pretty universal that you can just find it like this. And this is a good example of one right here. So this is a rookie card. It's Obsidian. I'll talk about Obsidian in a second, and it's serial number 1 out of 25. But I personally, even though it's a jersey match, and this is just me, I won't even buy a jersey match card if it says it's not associated with any specific player, game, or event. I just don't care. As a collector, what am I buying that for? I don't want to feel bad about the card that I own. I want to feel resonance and connection to the card that I own. And when like every single time I look at this patch, I'll just be like, that's a random person's patch. I don't care. I will not buy a card like that. That's just me. I also similarly, like me personally, I will not buy a card like this. I get that it's a rookie card. Topps Mercury was a popular set, but it's not licensed. And yeah, it's cool that he signed it, but it's like him signing something unrelated to the sports industry. It's like I don't want him signing a napkin. I want him signing a card of himself. And yeah, the 2022 Bowman Chrome University is not a San Antonio Spurs license card either, but it feels like a legitimate card, and it's his first, and now Topps is the ones that come out with it. I just personally, I just like that better. And there's no bad taste in my mouth because that card was never supposed to be a San Antonio Spurs card of his. It was never supposed to be a rookie card. It's a different thing. And, it's cool card here. I would never buy this one, even though it's a jersey match, even though it's a on-card auto. I just don't want to look at a card and have there be this one nagging thing about it that bugs me. I just don't want to do that. So I wouldn't buy a card like this. Let me find another good example of a card that I would like, though. Let me see. So this is interesting. This is not an example of a card I would like, but I mean, they make all kinds of stuff. I don't know what this is. It says Crown Royal Euro League. So I haven't really put the time in and bought any of the Euro League stuff or any of that stuff. This one says jersey number. Where? Oh my God, it's right over here. I mean, I guess that's cool. 1 out of 49. This is the type of thing though that like I might buy this for $55, but I'm not gonna buy this for much more because you can barely see that it's a jersey number. If you can't really see that it's a jersey number on the card just looking at it, how are you gonna enjoy that? Like that's not what I'm interested in. All right, let's do one more way of looking for it. So there are people that put jersey matches up that don't realize that they put jersey matches up. And I happen to search this one recently in order to find this. Let's see. So there is a card on here that I did purchase the other day, and I had to search this way for it actually. And it's this one right here. And this is the exact type of card that I'm looking for. Okay. First of all, an auction for $200 is a great price, in my opinion, for a jersey match. And in this one, they don't actually list that this is jersey match. And so it's sort of hidden to people, which means that you can get it at a better deal. There's a pretty low pop count. There's only 5 parallels of this insert, and Mosaic is decent, right? Like when I'm deciding if I like a jersey match, I sort of care about the brand, and I want it to be one of the better brands that have better designs and all that stuff. And this one checked the boxes for me. And you can see here that this is a PSA 9 as well. And for me, I like that because as a PSA 9, I don't have to pay the premium on it. And you can see here that it has a jersey number 1 out of 99. I think over time, these are going to be harder and harder to get because these are collector cards. These are cards that are for people specifically that are collectors. And so this one's in the mail, headed to me now, and I'm quite excited to get it. And, I'm showing this to you so you can see $200 is a lot of money. And also, it's way more reasonable than some of the other things. And if you're savvy about how you search for these, this is my go-to number two Victor Wembanyama rookie card to get. And like I said, I've got 4 of them. I have one that's an optic base parallel, and I have 3 that are inserts of different types, and I'm very happy to own them. So now let's transition to the next one. So this is the iconic Victor Wembanyama card, the Prism Silver. Let's see. So right now no, it says ended recently. So this right here, PSA 9 is probably what I would go for. So I do not own one of these. I haven't wanted to come up with the money for it yet. And you know, I actually love Prism Silvers. I think that the design of the Prism Silver is incredible, and there's a really high pop count. And so for me, finding jersey match cards or the rookie autos is like I don't know that those are going to go down much, but there's so many of these that if something happens with him, I do think these might go down a little bit. If this comes down into the $400 range one day, which may never happen again, I will get one. And until that happens, I'm looking for a PSA 9, and I would just wait until it comes down to a range that I'm comfortable with. I'm a collector, so I want to own this thing. I'm not buying it to resell. And so, ideally, I wouldn't pay $1,000. Like you saw on the other one, I paid $200 for a card that I wanted. But I love Prism Silvers. I have some of the 2012 Silvers. I also love True Golds, but obviously I'm never getting my hands on a True Gold Victor Wembanyama rookie. Um, but yeah, if I can ever get my hands on this card and own it, I will proudly display this in my home. And I think the real reason is that the design of the silver with the reflective shine and the hollow foil is just a satisfying thing to look at. And I think that, say what you want about Panini, but this card has legacy to it. 2012 Prism all the way through 2023 in this case, and it went through 2024, and they still make, but not for NBA anymore. But there's a ton of legacy with Prism Silvers, and people like that card, like me, because it's just satisfying to look at. I have other Prism Silver rookies. I have other Prism Silvers. I actually collect Prism Silver, period. And it's really nice being able to get dollar Prism Silver cards of All Stars. And it's like there's a lot of them, but when I think of the Prism card set, I think of the legacy of Prism. I think of it as this is what's iconic. The silver is the iconic card, specifically the silver rookies, and then specifically with the PSA label. Why PSA? Say what you want about PSA, say what you want about Panini. When you put the red PSA label combined with the Prism Silver card, it just looks nice. I have owned some Prism Silvers that have the BGS label on it, for instance, or the SGC label. I've never owned a Prism Silver CGC, but the BGS gold contrasts with the Prism Silver card. I really like BGS on true golds, but I don't really like BGS on Prism Silvers. I just don't think it looks good. I think it clashes. And so that's just my personal opinion on this. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to get a PSA 10 for this because I just wouldn't want to spend the money. If I'm trying to flip the card and make money off of it, or if I'm somebody that needs the card to be perfect according to PSA standards, then I would consider getting a 10. But because this isn't about money, like I just want a 9. I might even consider getting a 8 or a 7 if it looks good on the front. I have a 2015 silver prism Tom Brady card that looks perfect on the front and really bad on the back. And I haven't gotten it graded, but I'm like fine with it. I just have it on display. All I want when I'm displaying the card is the front, honestly. And so for me, it's better to get lower grade cards that look good on the front than it is to worry about is it perfect on the front and the back, blah, blah, blah. I don't care that much. I would even consider getting an 8 or a 7, but then you sort of get into centering issues and the cards generally don't look as good, but I don't need a 10 at all. And then, based on the silver, so hold on. Actually, I want to go back to this card for a second. We saw the pop count on this, right? Like, let's just take a look here. I like how you can just click that and see it. So there are a total of 8,026 Prism Silver rookie Victor Wembanyama cards as of the time of this video that have been graded in all different grades. And you can see there's 5,040 PSA 10s. Okay. That's a lot of those cards. There's a lot out there, and they're going to be a lot out there. Well, what about this one? There is another Prism Silver that I think is amazing. And I just want to show you guys this card. This one right here, this Prism Silver is also a very expensive card. You can see this one recently sold for $928. Let me try to find a PSA one of this. I say PSA just because I like looking at the pop counts for it. Oh yeah, it was right up there. Duh. All right, so here we can see that this is a satisfying looking card, and there's only 89 that have ever been graded. All right. Now, this went for $4,000 basically. That's a ton of money. A PSA 9 would not go for as much, of course. And so this is another one for me. I think this card looks amazing. And I sort of didn't love Deca when it came out because it was so expensive and it was just trying to be 2012 Prism. But now I sort of like it. It is what it is. I just think as a collector, I want the things that are the most satisfying to put up and look at. And so with this being a low pop, as a collector, that feels like I'm special. And I like that feeling. And look at this, for instance. This is a base card of the same thing. I just don't think this looks as satisfying. Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool image, but without that silver, I just don't care, is the truth. And so here, oh, this is perfect. A PSA 9. So this one sold for $900. If this comes down to the $400 range, I would get it. I might have missed it. I might never see this card go down again. If Victor Wembanyama comes and wins a championship, this card is not coming down in price. If the hobby continues to grow and people just keep getting into the hobby, this may never come down in price. If it does, or if something dramatic changes in my life, this is a card that I would want to own. I think it is a gorgeous card, which brings me to the next one that's over here, and we can see it. Let me see. So this card right here, this is a card that I can argue is in my price range. So the Downtown Bound, I have Downtown Bound silvers from the 2012 set, including a Kobe, and I really love those cards. I love the design on them. I think it does cheapen it a little bit when other sets create the exact same looking card, but not too much, not enough where I would say I don't want it. But in this case, because for me personally, I already have a feeling of connection to this particular Downtown Bound brand, and it's a silver, and I think it looks good. This is a card that I would love to own. I did not bid on this card. I saw when it was up. I didn't bid on it because I don't really know what's going on the top of it. And as a collector, when I'm trying to decide what I want to own, and I didn't know what's going on the bottom, I don't want to put something up on my wall that pulls at me in a negative way that makes it so I don't like it. I'm not doing this for the money. And so this is a card that I would want to get. I would just have to find a copy that was cleaner. This one went up too, and I was looking at this also. But it again, I don't understand why. It has this thing on the top and it's not the same image. Like I looked at it carefully and it has a thing on the bottom. So I didn't even go after this one. But for about $100 for a downtown bound silver, especially with the feeling that I have around the other version of it, that is a yes for me. And let's just see what the pop count is on that, if we can even find one. And let's see if any of these have been graded. Yeah, here's one. So this PSA 10 went for, see how it's crossed out there? Actually, I should show you guys that. This means it went for, either it went for this amount and it was listed at higher, or it went for less than this. But we'll look at this listing because I just want to see this. So you can see right here, there are 52 of the silver downtown bounds that have been graded ever. And so, for me, I would look for a 9, like I said. And wow, look at this. It still has this. I don't know what this is. Even on a 10, it has this on the top and bottom. So this is interesting. For me, this is something that might prevent me from ever buying this card because I don't like it. I don't like looking at the top of this. Call me crazy, but when it's not about the money and it's about enjoying the card, this just is distracting to look at. I don't know what that's about. And then you can see in the Deca set, there's some other versions of this as well, like the Brilliance, which I think that's a 2013 spinoff, if I remember right. I'd have to look that up, but I mean, this right here is another gorgeous Victor Wembanyama rookie card, and partly just because it's silver, and it has the thing on the bottom again. I don't know how to explain that. I don't know what that is. Maybe um, I'd have to look at one of these in person. Next time I'm going to show, if I can find one of these, I'm going to look at it in person because like seeing this stuff, I actually wouldn't buy it. I thought this was on my list, and right now it's not. Hold on. So is the regular one like that? Let's look at this together. Also, we're sort of taking a peek at what the prices are for these cards nowadays. So when I looked at this earlier, this does have it, but I think that that's different. It just doesn't look the same. I don't know. If you own one of these cards or you've seen them in person, can you just tell us if these Deca cards have this strange, distracting border on the top or bottom? I'd be curious to hear. Anyway, that brings me to the next one. This is one of my absolute favorite Victor Wembanyama cards from his rookie year. And this one just sold today, it looks like. I actually had my eye on this for $400. It's right in that range where I'm like, maybe I can swing it. And I do own one of these, but I just like them so much. So you can't properly see the shine on this card in this picture, but personally, I think that this is the best looking Victor Wembanyama rookie card you can get. And the pop count on it is pretty small. You can see it's 176 total, 130 of them are PSA 10. I did swing for a PSA 10 on this one instead of getting a PSA 9 because these cards are a little thicker, and I don't know. I was just like, you know what? I just want it. So I got mine a little bit ago, and like this is the card that my kid liked the most too out of all the things that I own. And Yeah, I think that 400 is a reasonable price considering the pop count and how unbelievably electric this card is. And I don't want any of the parallels of this. This is one of the only times in my personal history collecting rookie cards where I think that the base version of it looks the best. And because of the nature of Obsidian and the way that it was made, first of all, I think 2021 through 2023 Obsidian are incredible sets. The base cards in all of those are gorgeous and I absolutely love them. And I feel like there's just no comparison in the rest of the hobby to cards that have this like real look and feel to them. I just absolutely love this card. This Victor Wembanyama card, I can't express how happy I am to own it as a rookie card, and um, I cherish it. And I just don't care about the parallels. I don't care about the electric etch; like they're okay. I don't care about the floods. I don't care about any of that stuff. I just wanted the base, and PSA 10 feels great, and this card resonates like none other in the collection. And then this last one for me is, I mean, it's just a funny card that has a, let me see, Haunted Hoops, Victor Wembanyama, Hollow Web, PSA 10. And I would want a PSA 10. So let me see if I can find it right here. So I've got my eye on one of these. There's a couple different versions of this. Now the Haunted Hoops, they took the Hoops base set basically and um, added it to the Halloween feel. The reason I like this set and the reason I like this card is this set is what I wish more sets were. It's like $20 for 40 packs. There's 3 cards per pack. I think that these are case hits. The Holoweb, don't quote me on that, but I do believe that there's like one because we bought for 20 bucks each. I usually don't buy boxes, but for $20 for me and the kids to open stuff, like sure, I'll get it for $20. And so I get to open packs with the kids around Halloween time. I did that for a couple of years before Panini stopped making these. And it was just a really satisfying experience. And my younger son pulled a Brandon Miller Hollow Web in the 2023 year. And we sent it off and got it graded and it got a 9. And he's just like loves having it. And the pop counts on these are pretty small. And I love the idea of there being cheap cards that are fun to open, and this is the grail of that set. There's no numbered cards in the 2023 Haunted Hoops, none of them. 2024 had some numbered cards. But yeah, to me this is the best looking one out of all of them. It's sort of a jersey match. That's the other thing I like about the Obsidian one. It's an unintentional jersey match, and this is too. And I just think the card looks gorgeous, and there's a chance that I'll be bidding on this one. I think that they've been selling for maybe around 200. Let's take a look. 225, yeah. 200. So, these might keep going up, but I just think that this is one of the most appealing looking Victor Wembanyama cards that are out there. And again, this is all from a collector standpoint. So, listen, if you spent the time and you watched this whole video and I didn't talk about your favorite cards, tell me what they are for Victor Wembanyama's rookie year in the comments. Tell me what you think of the ones that I personally, as a collector, like. Tell me why. Be curious to hear it. Appreciate you guys watching. See you next time.